What's up, guys? Well, today we're working with Zara the Pitbull. Zara came to me about a week and a half ago, and she had a big problem with her anxiety. She wasn't getting the work she needed, she wasn't getting the attention she needed, and thus was developing problems. Now, luckily for the owner, that the problems were not permanent because she's still so young, they're only temporary. Luckily, she got the dog to me because we were able to curb some of those bad behaviors, like her jumping, her eating all the garbage, her, getting things that she's not supposed to be getting, stuff like that. When I first get a dog, what I do is I train the dog on a leash. And I do that because, number one, I need the dog to know and understand when I'm trying to give that dog a correction, whether it's a physical correction or a sound correction. When I do those things, I need that dog to respond and think, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. And the only way to teach a dog that they've done something wrong, or what it sounds like or feels like when they've done something wrong, is to put them on a leash and collar and just teach them how to walk. In doing that, though, what you teach a dog is when they do something wrong or different than what you want, you couple the correction or the physical correction or that feeling with a sound. Once you do that, you can carry that and use that correction for everything else. So what I do is I utilize a sound and I go shh, like that, right? But I use that sound when I'm working with the dog with her walking. Once I taught her how to walk, she understands the things that she does. If it's wrong and I correct her, she hears that sound and she's like, oh, I've done something he didn't want me to do. Now that I have that control, I can use that sound with anything. If she's in the yard playing with something I don't want her to play with, if she's jumping up, if she's just chewing something up, I can correct her from a distance without having to be right next to her, and that's control. When you're working with the dog and you're working on her walking, what you want to do is you want to keep calm. You always want to keep calm when you're working with the dog. You don't ever want to get overly excited because it'll give the dog reactions that you don't want. And you want the dog to be confident, but follow your lead at the same time. Now, Zara is, for the most part, an unconfident dog. She isn't confident within herself, and that's why she has the angst that she has. That's why she has a little resource aggression when you're with her or around her. Now, I don't think she's food aggressive because when I feed her and I put my hand in her bowl, she does not growl, she does not go after my hand, luckily. She doesn't even cower when I do that. She only cowers when you touch her. Best advice for the owner is if she's feeling comfortable when she's eating, just don't touch the dog. No, you shouldn't be like that. But at the same time, when I feed her and I go to touch her legs or something, she doesn't growl, she doesn't cower, she kind of just stops eating and looks up like, what, right? And I think that's the best that we're gonna be able to do for her. I think that her cowering and feeling in a shell while she's eating isn't something we're gonna be able to help until she's older and more of an adult. But for now, it's gonna be fine. We broke down those barriers by basically hand feeding the dog and touching the dog at the same time. And over time, she's kind of felt like, okay, it's okay to be fine while I'm eating and somebody's touching me. And that's essentially how we break the barrier down. It's just gonna take time. You can't do it in 2 weeks, but you can start on it. Another thing is we try to get on a treadmill. The best that I can do is I can get her up and I can have her sit, and I can have her sit for a while, but I don't want to force her because, number one, she's a big girl. You can't force a dog to run. Number two, you don't want to scar them from ever running on a treadmill. She just has to get comfortable with it. So with that being said, she's able to sit on the treadmill. She's not scared of it, but as soon as it turns on, she doesn't want to at all, so we're not going to push that fact. So what I did is she does like toys. She does like fetching. So I thought, hey, let's use a flirt pole on her. So I grabbed the flirt pole and I taught her, how to chase this flirt pole, and she loves it. She absolutely adores it. She plays for maybe 10 minutes, and she's tired, breathing heavily, and she's out like a light bulb. Get it, girl. Go. Get it, girl. Get it. Good job. Good job. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Go, 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 go. Ooh, good girl. Now the key to this, the trick to this, is to keep the bait or whatever they're playing with right in front of their face, right as they're almost about to get it, okay? And that's the key to that. And then, you know, it's a game. So you do want to let her win sometimes to continue that, to give her the reason to keep playing. Because if they always lose, they're not going to want to play with you anymore. Okay, drop. Good girl. And she does pull. The only thing is she lets go when I say. Good girl, let's go. Let's go. Good girl, let's go. Good girl, come on. Go, 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 go. Go, Zara, go. Come on, Zara. Come on, Zara. Good job, good job. Ooh, good job. Good job. Good job. Let's go. Come on. Good job. Good job. Okay, drop. Good girl. Good job. Good job. You have fun? Go. Get it. Get it. Ooh. Come on. Get it, baby. Get it. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. Good girl. Wait. Ready? You ready? Get it. Let's go. Get it. Good girl. Let's go. Come on, girl. Get it, girl. Good job. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good girl. All right, guys. We're going to end it there. Looks like she's had some fun. She's starting to foam a little bit, and she's working really, really hard. And that's a good thing. That's what you want, okay? Now, her pulling like this, it isn't bad, right? You want her to play. This is her playing. But when it gets too much, that's when you have to have command. And I always preach, you have command over your dogs, all right? So if I say drop it, she needs to drop it. Zara, drop. Good girl. Good girl. You're all done. Get some water. Come on. But I think over time, once we get her energy up and her cardio up, she'll be able to play for longer. But at the moment, she just doesn't have the conditioning needed to sustain that. Like my dogs will go for 30 or 40 minutes full board because I've been able to actually build them up and and get their cardio up. So they'll go for a long time. For her though, it's more of like five minutes of really, really intense play, and then she's really done. Well, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Those are some of the things that I did with this dog. Like I said, high energy, high drive are two things that this dog has, and without giving this dog a reason to work or a reason to actually get that energy out, it's gonna just transform into bad behaviors. So when you have a high drive dog like this that looks like a working dog, you have to get it out. You have to do things to where this dog can really start to work hard. And once you do that, you're gonna see a transformation in your dogs, the way they act, the way they respond, the way that they work for you, and a lot funner to be around because they won't have that state of mind of them being all over the place. They'll be very calm. All right, guys, and that's it. You guys have a good day.